Hey guys, it is Thursday, October 2nd, 2014. I'm currently babysitting, so I'm going to make this quick. I got a question off my last little baby update video that was asking me about transitioning and if I regretted anything, if things are different, etc., etc. I think that I had a lot of preconceived notions about hormones prior to transitioning, and I don't know if I necessarily saw testosterone as something like a miracle drug or not, but I definitely thought that it was going to solve a lot of my problems and problems with myself. And I think testosterone did solve a lot of dysphoria that I had. Dysphoria is something I still struggle with in the shape of my body and constantly trying to make it into a V taper shape. But you know, that's for anybody and not necessarily something associated with gender or sex or your physical body, etc. I don't regret transitioning in the slightest, and I think that a lot of people who do worry about that or are hesitant to transition, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, or who care about the opinions of others and how that weighs a little bit into whether they choose to transition or not. I think that's human, and that's fine. For me, I just from the way I had to grow up and stuff, I've made my life always a priority, and at times this has gotten me into trouble and has made me a selfish person in a not healthy way. So it's a constant sort of balance there, but I think that most people get to this point where they either compromise their own happiness, aka don't transition or do things that they genuinely feel that they should be doing, because they want to protect their family and loved ones, don't want to hurt them, want them to be happy, so they compromise their own happiness, or they decide that their happiness is something that takes precedence over so-and-so's differing versus opinion. So I think that that's very hard, and there's no right answer for that, but just something that you have to figure out for yourself. And I think a lot of people do hit a breaking point and say, you know what, this is something that I have to do for me, and then move forward from there. So that's that question. I also get questions regarding my sexuality, sexual orientation, and it's a constant struggle because I'm trying to understand it myself. But for the most part, I'm very much attracted to women. I've never been with anybody who's trans, whether they be trans male or trans female or non-binary. I've never had any sort of sexual experience with anyone like that. Those people. But I have been with cis men and cis women, and I have a natural attraction to women in general, regardless of trans, cis, whatever status. And men, not as much. There are certain things I like about men too, but women, I'm learning now that I actually am very much attracted to women and everything about them, more so than I am than men. But you know, there's a time and a place for everything, so that's more verbalizing what my sexual orientation is all about. I don't necessarily have a label for that. Sometimes I say queer, sometimes I just say I don't label it, and that's fine. You know, sometimes people get hung up on labels, and sometimes labels give people a sense of identity and sense of belonging. I'm not one of those people who needs that label to feel secure, or feel like I belong, per se. So, yeah, I just kind of, go with the flow, whatever. And lastly, people have been asking me about working out and stuff, and I'm not currently doing CrossFit, unfortunately, because it's expensive, and I'm trying to save up enough money because I'm moving to Portland in January. So it's super exciting, but I've been going to Planet Fitness and doing my own workouts, and mainly right now I'm focusing on doing cardio, so I will do at least a half an hour of cardio every time I go to the gym. I eat pretty healthy, I would say, about like a paleo-esque diet, the principles of paleo, because I'm more of a lifestyle. I've made it more of a lifestyle now, since I did an 8-week challenge, trying out paleo, and I didn't think it was for me as a vegetarian, but I learned that I can do it. So I've been doing that in combination with working out in some way, shape, or form, doing handstands, walking a lot. I have a Fitbit that tracks my walking and calories and etc. So just trying to make sure that I stay at a deficit. to what I intake. I don't count calories. I just try and eat well, natural things, and just do what I feel is good. So if I go to the gym and I feel like shit, well, I'm going to do the best that I can that day, and that's more of what it is. I don't follow a very strict routine. If you have more specific questions about that, feel free to ask me. However, there are more people who do know more about health and exercise than me. However, I do think that I know a fair amount. So, this video is already 5.5 minutes long, so thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Let me know if you have any other questions, feel free, and I'll keep making random videos for you guys. Okay, bye!